She waited 2 years. Nike waited 2 years. And now the moment fans have been begging for is finally here, but there's a twist inside this shoe that almost nobody saw coming, and by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what it is. If you've been following Caitlin Clark's career even a little bit, you already know this next part matters. Because this isn't a random player exclusive colorway. This isn't a shoe someone else designed and slapped her name on. This is a true signature sneaker, the kind only a handful of athletes on the planet ever get. And the story behind how it got made is honestly more interesting than most people realize. Stick around, because there's a detail about the technology inside this shoe near the end of this video that changes how you'll look at every game she plays from here on out. Before we get into it, if you're into real basketball stories, not recycled clickbait, do me a favor and hit subscribe right now. Not because I'm asking for a favor. Because if you stick with this channel, you're going to be the person in your group chat who already knew this stuff before everyone else did. That's the whole point of being here early. Okay, let's get into it. The deal that started it all. Back in April 2024, right after the WNBA draft, Caitlin Clark signed an 8-year sneaker deal with Nike worth a reported $28 million. That number alone turned heads. But signing a big check doesn't automatically mean you get your own shoe. Most athletes with major deals still spend years wearing team-issued or player-exclusive colorways of someone else's model before Nike even considers building something from scratch around them. For her first 2 WNBA seasons, Clark mostly played in retro Kobe Bryant sneakers, wearing player-exclusive colorways while the world waited to see if, and when, she'd get a true signature shoe of her own. That waiting period is important, because it tells you Nike wasn't rushing this. They were building something. What Nike actually built. The shoe is called the Nike Caitlin 1, and it officially releases October 1, 2026. The debut colorway is called Racer Blue, and here's the pricing breakdown: $140 for adult sizes in North America, $115 for grade school sizes, and $105 for preschool sizes. Outside North America, adult pairs run $135. And notably, the shoe is launching in full family sizing right out of the gate: adult, grade school, and preschool, which isn't something every signature shoe gets on day one. Now here's the part that actually matters if you care about performance, not just hype. The shoe introduces something Nike is calling Opticast, a brand new upper construction using cast polyurethane nodes at varied heights, engineered specifically to reduce drag during quick movement. Underneath, it's built on a full-length Couchland foam midsole, paired with a 4-foot Air Zoom turbo unit. Translation: this is a shoe built around speed, sharp cuts, and a player who needs to explode into her shot from well beyond the three-point line. This wasn't designed for a generic guard. It was designed around exactly how Clark plays. Her signature logo, an interlocking CC, appears across the shoe and the matching apparel line, which first started rolling out back in August 2025. That logo alone has become one of the most recognizable pieces of branding in women's sports over the past year. Here's a question worth sitting with while we keep going: with a 2-year runway, a custom outsole, and a full family-sized rollout, is Nike treating this like a normal shoe launch, or like the start of something much bigger? Keep that in your head, because we're about to get into the numbers. Why this launch is being watched so closely. Signature shoes are rare in general. They're even rarer in women's basketball. Clark joins a short list of active players who have a true signature line with Nike, not just a colorway of an existing model, a tier that historically has belonged almost exclusively to some of the biggest names in the sport's history. That's part of why the reveal itself turned into an event. In the lead-up to the announcement, Clark changed her Instagram handle to a version referencing the shoe and began posting cryptic teaser images, glimpses of the sneaker, insoles with friendship bracelet-style charm detailing, even a Santa Claus emoji hinting at a holiday colorway down the line. It was a slow drip, and it worked. By the time Nike made the official announcement, the anticipation had been building for months. And it didn't stop at the reveal. Clark has continued debuting new colorways tied to milestone performances on the court, including unveiling a new look right after a franchise record 45-point outing against the Seattle Storm, a game where she also became the first player in WNBA history to record a 40-point, 10-assist performance in the same night. Pairing a shoe reveal with a record-breaking box score is the kind of moment marketing teams dream about, and it happened organically. So here's the suspense worth sitting with: if the hype is already this loud 2 months before release, what happens when the shoe actually drops on shelves? We'll get to what analysts are projecting in a moment, but first, let's talk about where you'll actually be able to buy it, because this part matters if you don't want to miss out. Mark this down: October 1st, 2026, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's when the Nike Caitlin 1 goes live on the Nike SNKRS app, Nike.com, and in select retail stores including Foot Locker, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Hibbett, all launching simultaneously. One detail worth knowing: if you're planning to buy a pair, the shoe is excluded from site-wide promotions, meaning $140 is the price no matter where you shop or what sale might be running elsewhere. Given the reveal has already generated this much attention, some industry watchers expect the lead colorways to sell out quickly, with resale markets like StockX and GOAT likely seeing significant markup activity in the days following launch. If you've ever tried to grab a hyped sneaker drop the moment it goes live, you already know how fast that window can close. And this isn't a one-and-done release. Additional colorways are already lined up to roll out through the rest of 2026 and into 2027, including seasonal editions tied to Halloween and the winter holidays. Apparel is expected to launch alongside the sneaker as well, extending Clark's branding beyond just footwear. Now here's something to think about before we move to the next section: a shoe launch is one thing. But when a league's biggest emerging star gets her own signature line this early in her career, it says something about where the business side of women's basketball is heading, not just for her, but for the players coming up behind her. Stick with me, because that's exactly where we're headed next. What this means beyond the shoe. It's worth stepping back and looking at the bigger picture here, because a signature shoe isn't just merchandise, it's a signal. Nike doesn't hand out full signature lines lightly. They're expensive to develop, they take years of testing, and they only make business sense if the company believes the athlete's popularity is durable, not a one-season spike. The fact that Clark's deal and shoe development stretched across roughly 2 years, spanning multiple trips to Nike's design teams and a slow, deliberate rollout, tells you this was treated as a long-term bet rather than a quick cash-in. And the WNBA overall has been riding a wave of record attendance, television ratings, and merchandise sales over the past 2 seasons, so the timing lines up with a league that's actively trying to capitalize on a growth moment. Whether or not you follow the WNBA closely, this kind of investment tends to ripple outward. When one player's signature shoe becomes a genuine cultural moment, it usually opens doors for other players in the league to get bigger deals of their own down the line. That's the part worth watching over the next year, not just this one release. Before you go. So to recap the essentials, the Nike Caitlin 1 drops October 1st, 2026, at 10 a.m. Eastern. Racer Blue is the debut colorway. Pricing starts at $140 for adults, with grade school and preschool sizing available from day one. The shoe is built around Nike's new Opticast upper technology, a full-length Couchland midsole, and a 4-foot Zoom Air turbo unit, engineered specifically around speed and long-range shooting. And more colorways, including holiday editions, are already planned for later in the year. Here's the thing I keep coming back to, though: we still don't have full images or complete technical specs officially confirmed by Nike for every version of this shoe yet. So there's more coming. If you want to be the first to know when Nike drops the next reveal, or when resale prices start moving on launch day, subscribing is genuinely the easiest way to make sure you don't miss it. The notification bell will do the work for you. Drop a comment and let me know: are you trying to grab a pair on launch day, or are you waiting to see how the resale market shakes out first? I read every comment on these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.